You know how with bags of chips or cereal, there's the little disclaimer on the side that says not actual size?
Yeah, like having the giant Dorito on the side of the bag.
The size of the chip doesn't deceive me, but the lack of flavoring, like with Doritos, I normally put the most seasoned side on my tongue to get the most flavor. But when you open up a bag and you look inside and most of the chips are just bare naked, I have no idea how to eat those.
Welcome to We're Starting a Podcast, a podcast dedicated to figuring out what we want this podcast to be about. With us, as always, is Dallin Lucas.
Yeah.
And I'm DallinJay. So in the beginning of a podcast, you're going to mostly be talking to yourself. And that will eventually change once you start building an audience. And you'll have more and more people to communicate with. And on our last video, it's been a while since we've posted. A lot has changed. A lot has changed with Dallin. More on that later. But on the last episode, we asked everyone to leave comments on things that they would like us to talk about that they think we're not qualified for, because lots of podcasts have people talking about things they're not qualified in. And we are going to see what comments you guys left on the video. All right. There is one comment. Why do you have a Mario collection? Okay, so not really something that I'm not qualified to talk about or controversial, but that's okay. Thank you, Loki Zoli. Cool name. Why do I have a Mario collection? Well, actually, it's not just a Mario collection. This is from Super Smash Brothers for the Switch. And back when these came out, I tried to buy every single one of the first collection, and that ended up costing me a lot of money. And some of them were accidentally purchased on eBay, which ended up costing even more money. Collections can cost a lot of money, and sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. I think this one's worth it because it's kind of a cool little backdrop. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say about it. But Mario's cool. Super Smash Brothers is cool. That's okay. We can have more comments on this video, hopefully, and we will be able to talk about those things next time. So, but one thing, however, I don't know if you've been noticing this, Dallin, is there hasn't been a lot of videos on our podcasts, but there is another video that's been continuously getting comments, and it is your version of Yakko's World.
Yeah, I check them out.
But it has been getting so many comments constantly. Probably too many to mention, but it's really exciting. People really love that video, me included. And personally, I feel like it's pretty relevant right now with the Olympics going on. It has definitely made me more aware of the countries that are represented at the Olympics, because I recognize them from your version of the Yakko's World song.
Yeah, it's actually been really exciting watching the Olympics this year. Mainly because, like you said, I have all the countries memorized. And whenever they bring out a respective athlete and they say their country, I'm not confused because I know them all. And it's kind of cool to understand where everyone's coming from. and kind of gives a little more context too. But the one that really hurt was when I was watching one of the track events, and there was an athlete from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I was like, oh, that was the one I forgot to add into the final video, and I am so sorry.
Yeah, that's one of the countries that really stood out during the Olympics when I heard their name.
I know there's lots of comments that say that I have missed other countries and nations, I guess is what I'll say, because this is the nations of the world, not countries. There's a difference. And so basically this list is from the United Nations. So all of the represented sovereign countries are in there. And to simplify things, that's what I decided to update the song towards. And if anybody has any suggestions on how I could add more or do every country, I'm open to suggestions and some help writing those. But that's where I was. I made this video for myself, really. But it's been really fun watching the Olympics, hearing all the countries, and I may do an improved version where I change some of the pronunciations, because I did some of those wrong too, I'll admit. But yeah, it's been a good time. And I would also like to thank all 1,500 of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I am beyond grateful for everyone, and it is just amazing how this number just keeps climbing up. And seeing that my video for Yakko's World is at 280,000 views is insane. And I'm just blown away every day I look at the numbers. So thank you for the support. I'm going to try and make more content, more exclusive content. I have a whole list of things that I want to do. It's just making the time to do it is the challenge. And I am going to push myself to really try to do more and more. And I thank you all for supporting me and giving me that push that I need to get out there and make stuff that makes me happy. So yeah, that was a little tangent. But yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you guys. Yeah, we really appreciate it. So lots of podcasts, they talk about conspiracy theories and a lot of deep state mumbo jumbo stuff. One of the more common conspiracies is that the earth is actually flat. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so one thing I feel like people don't realize is how satellites work. The way a lot of people think they work is they just constantly are going around the globe over and over again, just spinning. But that doesn't make any sense, because I'm like, how is it supposed to be sending the information from the satellite to the earth if it's round? Because it would just be going around. It would be blocking the signals from going to this side of the country or this side of the world. It doesn't make any sense. And anybody who thinks otherwise just doesn't have a brain. Now, here is the real way that satellites work. So we know that the earth is flat. I don't know if you've ever left a DVD on and it has the little screensaver. That is exactly how satellites work on a flat earth. So basically you have your flat earth and the satellites are just bouncing back and forth. And they're not blocked by anything. They are just constantly bouncing back and forth, and they can send information, data wherever they want on the earth. And it just really pains me that more people don't understand that that is the way that it works. You have the flat earth, DVD screensaver, satellites. It just all makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really good theory. More people should be talking about this.
Hey, do you love peaches? Do you want to taste the sweetest, juiciest peaches around? Well, then look no further than Farmers Market peaches, picked at the peak of ripeness, bringing you the ultimate burst of joyful flavor in every bite. A close-up of peaches. There you go. Locally grown and hand-picked, these peaches are perfect for your morning smoothie, a delicious pie, or just as a refreshing snack. And sometimes you even get the added bonus of a spider. Proof that these peaches are as fresh and natural as they come. So next time you're at the local farmer's market, make sure to grab a basket of these amazing peaches. Taste the difference that freshness makes. Host takes a bite of the peach. Farmers Market peaches. We're talking about the fruit.
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, there has been a lot of changes going on with the podcast and with each of our lives, but I want to shift the focus mainly on you, Dallin, because something significant has happened to you in the past few months. And it makes sense why we've been a little lacking in content recently, but we're going to be picking that back up and trying to maintain a more consistent schedule. But anyway, let's cut to the chase. You are now a father.
Okay.
That is crazy. I can't even begin to imagine what that's like.
Yeah, so I knew that I wanted to be a dad when I got to the point in my life when I no longer wanted sleep. I didn't want free time anymore. And I was just tired of focusing on myself. And I want to put all of that energy that I was using on myself into raising a child. And it has been so much fun. It's 4 months now, about next week it'll be 4 months. And he is the funnest kid. I don't know. I love seeing his little happy face, him smiling, his random bursts of laughter that have been happening recently. They're so fun. And it's really been kind of cool because I would have never expected that I would love being a dad this much. There were times when I was younger, I was like, oh, it'll be cool to raise a kid. But I just didn't really think of the logistics behind it and how this little guy is depending on me for his survival. And I am just grateful that I can step it up and be there for him and be the person that he can look up to and think, yeah, my dad, he's pretty cool. Until he becomes a teenager, then that might fade away. But then he'll grow older into his 20s and he'll think I'm cool again, hopefully. Or at least he'll appreciate me a little bit more. And I'm really looking forward to just every part of this journey. And I know people like to say that they're just really tired raising kids. And I feel like that's the thing that people bring up the most. They bring up all of the bad things about raising kids, and they really downplay the good parts of it. And yeah, there's times when you're going to be tired or wanting to do something else. But the joys that come from hanging out with your kid, and just right now he's 4 months old, so there's not much I can do other than just be with him. But just the little moments, they're just so amazing, and I would not replace that for anything. And I wish more people would realize that raising a kid isn't as bad as you may think. Now, luckily for me, my son, he only cries when he needs something. I know some people have like colic babies, ones that cry just constantly. And that I can see can be difficult. But luckily my boy, he just cries when he's hungry, needs a diaper change, or the one that confuses me the most is when he's tired. Because I'm like, bro, you can sleep. You don't need to be fussing all the time. You have no responsibilities. You can literally sleep and nobody's going to stop you. And this is the only time in your life where that is possible. And you need to take advantage of it, because you're going to wish you had that ability when you're older. But then he just completely ignores me and continues to cry. But I do eventually get him to calm down and get him to sleep. But it's just so funny to me that you just cry because you're overtired. just go to sleep. That's all you got to do.
Well, congratulations again, man.
But yeah,
that's just fantastic news. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and can't wait to hear more stories. So as more and more people are spending time on screens and getting instant gratification all the time, it has really affected a lot of people's attention spans. How do you feel like that's been affecting your life?
Yeah, this is something I think about often, because working with social media, I am on TikTok and Instagram all the time, just scrolling through stuff. And I kind of fall into it a little bit, that I get bored of videos too quickly. And if something doesn't grab my attention immediately, scrolling past it, done. They could have put the most effort into that video or that segment. I'll swipe past it because I am getting bored. And it is a real problem that a lot of people face. And it sucks because there isn't really a way to go back until maybe we just completely get rid of technology altogether. And that isn't going to happen. So we just need to just set some boundaries for ourselves. It's important to be connected to the world, but I think we need to just rein it in just a little bit. Like pull yourself back. Don't use social media
totally
or technology as much as you can, because you got to slow down, and your brain will thank you for that. And I know your friends will too, and your family, because you're probably ignoring them.
So yeah, we're gonna, another another great segment of our podcast has been Financial Guru. How is the Financial Guru doing?
Okay. Yeah, I got one more in me. Now the thing. Okay, I gotta get into the character. Now, if you pick up a penny from the ground at least once a day, you will have saved over $3 million by the time you retire. Now, think about that. It's simple math.
Well, that seems as good as any of a spot for us to end our podcast today. Like I said, we would love for you guys to leave comments down below for topics that you'd like us to talk about, preferably ones that you may not think we're qualified to talk about. Those are definitely the most important for us to cover because we're a podcast, and that's the only place where you should be getting your information from is us. So thank you for tuning in to We're Starting a Podcast. My name is DallinJay.
It's been fun.
This is Dallin. And we will see you on the next one. Peace out.